Hi guys, welcome to A2Z United and welcome to our live stream again. In this video, we are going to discuss a lot of topics. We are of course going to first discuss Manchester United's next Premier League home game against Wolves, a very crucial and important Premier League match. We are of course going to discuss the Premier League table and we are also going to discuss our next few fixtures as well. Now, United are of course going to be coming back to Wolves after our away game against Leicester City, where we drew. And even after we drew the game, United are still currently the most informed Premier League side. In our last 7 games, we are currently unbeaten with 5 wins and 2 draws. And this fixture, again, as the last time, is also a very critical fixture and a one that we have to win in order to catch up to Liverpool, who are currently sitting first in the Premier League table. Now, our last Premier League game week has been very interesting as well. Liverpool dropped points against West Bromwich Albion. Manchester United and Leicester again played in a stalemate draw. Chelsea also dropped points. City and Arsenal are the only ones who basically capitalized by winning their games, their respective games, as well. So against Wolves, this is a tough fixture to come. What my understanding is that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has found it very difficult to beat Wolves. We only defeated them once in the past 2 seasons. 2 seasons ago, we basically drew all
Also in
the
FA Cup.
games. Yeah, and in the FA Cup, yeah, that was basically in the FA Cup as well. So Ankit, of course, I'm joined by Ankit, and Ankit, thank you so much for joining, brother. I'm so excited about this, and as we speak right now, yesterday night, we basically saw that Leicester and Crystal Palace played in a draw. So Leicester, even though they have just 1 point above us in the league table, they couldn't capitalize on that. Chelsea also draw against Aston Villa, the inform Aston Villa, who are currently in a wonderful form. And prior to their match, if they basically had 2 games advantage over Manchester United, and if they had won, they could have actually crossed us as well. So Chelsea currently drop points. Leicester City drop points. Liverpool have also drop points. So as things stand, if Manchester United get this victory, we would basically be 2 points. In touching distance of Liverpool as well. So Ankit, brother, big game to come against Wolves at Old Trafford. It's going to be played today night at 1:30 a.m. It's basically Wednesday morning. So Ankit, I'm pretty hopeful about today's game, but what are your thoughts, brother?
Yes, if United have any aspirations of winning the league or at least being in the contention, then I think this upcoming 2 games against Wolves and Aston Villa are a must win. Because these are the type of the games that you need to win and stamp your authority and show the rest of the league that you are here to win it. And people are confident that we will overcome Wolves and Aston Villa. But heart of me says that I am very skeptical considering our defense, because our defense has been leaking goals right, left, and center. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to bring in at least one defensive coach or one good center back, because Harry Maguire isn't the leader or isn't the 80 million defender that we all thought of, because he cannot organize the defense, nor he has the capability of going on to consistent runs where he can be the man of the match for United. We have seen Bruno do it for each and every game in and game out. He has done man of the match performances even against Leicester when he was so awful. I think he had 1 goal and 1 assist. So Harry Maguire has to step up to the plate and organize the defense, because we have considered similar patterns of goals, and it needs to stop. If we are going for the Premier League title this season, then I think the defense has to improve. Basically, our defense is a relegation form and our attack is title contention form. So it shows so much imbalance in one particular team. And if you see the sides that have won Premier League titles in the recent times, you consider Man City, you consider Liverpool. I think they have had a solid defensive partnership or a solid defensive unit. You can say if company with maybe Laporte or Fernandinho for City, and then Van Dijk and Matip, or even Joel Gomez with Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. They have had a solid defensive unit, and that's what makes you win title. So United should really improve on that defensive aspect if you have any for the Premier League title. And for to speak about Wolves, I think Wolves have, as you said, that we haven't beaten Wolves in the Premier League. We have drawn quite a lot of matches with them. We have just overcome them in the FA Cup, where it was a stalemate again, a nil-nil draw, and then we defeated them at Old Trafford. I think it was 1-0 with Juan Mata's goal. Also, against them in, I think it was last year or maybe that before that year when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was on a good run, and Wolves was the team which halted a run. So I think we have to watch out for Wolves. They are not an easy side. They can't be taken lightly, considering they have drawn against Spurs and won against Chelsea. So their last game against Spurs, I think they were very dominant. Their work rate is outstanding, and they are a team who can sit back, park the bus, hold up the pressure, and hit us on the counter attack. Hit teams on the counter attack. Basically, Nuno Santos was a student of Jose Mourinho, so he has learned the tricks and traits by joining Jose Mourinho. So we expect similar kind of tactics that Jose Mourinho deploys in his games. And yes, they haven't scored too many goals because, as you know, their main striker, that is Raul Jimenez, is injured due to a skull fracture, and their attacking threat going forward is minimized because Raul Jimenez, that long ball to Raul Jimenez, which they give, and then they score quite a lot of goals. That I think that has been really minimized because Raul Jimenez is injured. So Neto is quite a good player that has come into the squad and has provided attacking threat. But I think if United needs to overcome or win against Wolves tomorrow, then they have to negate the threat of maybe Podence and Neto because they are their two attacking threats going forward. So I expect a very cagey game, edgy game. If we give Wolves chance, that is, if we are 1-0 up for the like 80 or 85th minute, I think they will gonna score goal. They scored against Chelsea in the I think 90th minute or the stoppage time, and against Spurs again they scored in the 88th minute. So they have a knack of scoring late goals. So we cannot just go 1-0 ahead and then park the bus. They are gonna hit us and they are gonna score. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to be very, very about it.
Yes, Ankit, absolutely. And one of the points that I really like that you put across was basically about our defense, who has been extremely, who have basically been extremely poor this whole season as well. I mean, 14 games in, and we have already, conceded about 24 goals. And even in the Champions League, we conceded about 11 goals, due to which we were out. And I think only time is going to tell how big of an impact that late equalizer from Leicester is going to be like, because those 3 points were very crucial, and if we had taken that 3 points, we would have just been 3 games. I'm sorry, just 3 points behind Liverpool with a game in hand. So that was a very, very critical uh, moment in the game.
Basically, we have been level on points with Liverpool, and that would have triggered Liverpool to perform well because they aren't performing quite the standards they have for the past 2 years. And then Liverpool, for the first time, would have been under pressure from an biggest rival, that is Manchester United. So
Mhm.
that Leicester game in the context of this week, I think it will not be a huge problem, but for the longevity of the season, I think that is going to hamper us.
Mhm. Yes, Ankit, absolutely. And I think that is why we need to really emphasize and say that United's defense must improve if we are pretty serious about challenging for the title this season as well. That being said, even our attack was not that potent against Leicester City. Marcus Rashford basically missed two crucial chances. One is he could have given an early lead, right in the second minute, and and also when the score was one each, he could have given an early a lead as well, basically 2-1 when he went one-on-one with the keeper as well. So I think we do have problems on both sides of the pitch, of both sides of the park. Our defense has not been that good. Uh, our attack, of course, we have been creating many chances thanks to Bruno Fernandes. But again, we need to really improve that as well. And of course, you also mentioned some few good key points against, Wolves as well. So that being said, I think we'll basically jump to the next part of what we are going to discuss is the potential lineup that we basically saw. Now, I am basically, basically taking our two games in consideration. One is that we are going to play against Aston Villa soon, and we have also played against Leicester just about 2 nights ago. So that being said, the formation that I feel that United are going to put forth is we'll basically go with a standard 4-2-3-1 formation. We'll have David De Gea at goal. We'll have a back four of Harry Maguire, Eric Bailly, Twanzebe, and Alex Telles. Victor Lindelof, I feel, would be missing out. The reason is because he succumbed to a small minor back injury against Leicester City and he was taken out in the second half. We'll have a defensive partnership of Paul Pogba and Nemanja Matic. Bruno Fernandes, of course, playing at the hole, who will be linking up defense to attack. We'll have the wide wing players at Rashford and Greenwood. Greenwood he'll be recalled in the lineup since he was not even involved against Leicester City, and Edinson Cavani up top. So I feel that this is going to be an ideal lineup that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might put up against Wolves. But Ankit, brother, what are your thoughts on the same? Do you think that it's going to be an identical lineup, or what changes will you make to this?
Yes, barring couple of changes, I think this is the similar squad that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might pick for today's game. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is fit. Maybe he will be part of the match, but I don't think so. He will start. He may be substituted. So Tuanzebe on the right back, I think it's ideal replacement because Timothy Fosu-Mensah and Brandon Williams hadn't had quite a lot of games, and to chuck them in such a crucial match will not be very logical. And then Nemanja Matic, I think maybe can be replaced with Fred because Fred, we need that tenacity, we need that interception so that our midfield can link up with the attack. And Bruno Fernandes will be involved in the majority of the game. So I think Fred over Matic, I can pick that. And then Greenwood. Now we have Van de Beek, we have Martial. So I think Martial can be rested because Cavani came in, I think, for the later half of the second half against the Leicester game. So we will need him against Aston Villa as well. So Martial should be rested for this game. Even Rashford can be rested, considering that we have Juan Mata, Greenwood, and Van de Beek who can start. Even Jesse Lingard, we have an option, but I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will prefer him. So yes, this is the sort of lineup that I will go with. In place of Greenwood, you can play Donny Van de Beek if you want to, or even Juan Mata. But then I think this is the ultimate or the strong starting 11 that I think we as a fans and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should go with.
Yes, Ankit. And considering that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, since he took charge of Manchester United, he's of course, uh, you know, have difficult results against Wolves. He's basically found difficult to
Yeah,
beat,
yeah.
Nuno's side as
It's
well.
one of the tough nuts. It's one of the tough nuts that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is finding difficult to crack.
Yes.
So
And
yeah.
do you think that having Edinson Cavani right now and leading the line, do you think that we have a better chance of scoring goals and taking the game towards the Wolves backline and even winning the game? Considering he also made a big impact against Leicester City as well.
Yes, I think Cavani is proving to be our super substitute like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because if we play to Cavani's strengths, I think putting the crosses into the box and then getting his head over it, I think then we are playing into his strengths and then he can score quite a lot of goals. But in terms of starting the whole game, he started against Everton, but we saw in the previous matches that when he played quite a lot of matches, he pulled up a muscle and was injured for 4 to 5 matches. So I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is very peculiar about it and picking him for the right matches and for the right duration. Considering his age, he cannot play match in game out, and that is the reason I think we need someone like Edinson Cavani, a younger version of Edinson Cavani, who can come in and be a proper in this Manchester United Football Club. Because both Rashford and Martial, as we have discussed this even in a live streams and even offline, that Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial aren't the players that will take United to a title league winning squad, because we say that Harry Maguire and Lindelof are not potent enough to win us titles. I think same should be said for Marshall and Rashford, because they miss quite a lot of chances. And when it comes to fine margins, when it comes to key situations, when you tend to miss such opportunities like Rashford miss against Leicester and Marshall miss against PSG, that cost us heavily in terms for the longevity of the season. You cannot miss chances. You have to be clinical. As you saw, that Cavani got one chance, that one slight window of opportunity against Everton, and boom, we scored a goal. So, and again also against Everton, he dropped back and created a chance for Bruno Fernandes. So we need such number 9 type of player in a squad. A younger version of Cavani will be very beneficial for this squad. So I think yes, Rashford and Marshall should improve on their finishing skills. Should be more clinical in front of goal.
Mhm. And that actually emphasizes the points that we basically have a lot of difficult fixtures also coming up the list as well. Of course, United had a great chance at King Power Stadium to basically win the game. We could have actually we basically went ahead twice and then we conceded. We conceded both the times, and then we basically had to hold on for a draw. So, of course, we have a pretty difficult fixture in hand right now, currently against Wolves. And if you basically take a look at some of Manchester United's next few fixtures, so we currently have Wolves right now that we are going to play against. We have Aston Villa, who are currently in an amazing form, who basically drew at Chelsea yesterday. They could have even defeated them. So this is also going to be a tough game. And then we have Manchester City in the EFL Cup semi-final after that, and followed by which we have Watford in the FA Cup, and then the biggest game of our season right now will be Liverpool versus Manchester United in the Premier League. So that's going to be a top of the table clash. So that also says as to why the Wolves and Aston Villa game are going to be so crucial. And then after which
So
we are going to have.
basically, yeah. So basically, all the upcoming games until Liverpool, or maybe the entire month of Jan from here, I think all are must-win games if you want to win trophies and if you want to contest for that Premier League title. Because if you see Wolves and Aston Villa in this week, and then Liverpool directly in January, I think that is gonna be a big battle for so many years. We are waiting to see this rivalry reignite, and top of the table clash will be just icing on the cake.
Yes, correct, Ankit. And as basically, of course, I think that is all the more reason as to why we need to basically win this game as well, right, Ankit? Against Wolves, basically. So as we see, as we saw that, of course, a lot of difficult games coming up for Manchester United, and that is why time is only going to say if the points that we dropped at King Power Stadium would it matter or not. But that being said, of course, we got a free pass, and the reason is because even Liverpool also dropped points. And Ankit, bro, if you basically look at the Premier League table as of now, Liverpool currently sit
Mhm.
at top, of course, with a game they have played a game extra in hand, and they're currently at 32 points. Leicester City, after the draw yesterday, they still sit at 29 points, a point above Everton, but of course, Everton have a game in hand, who are sitting in third right now. Manchester United currently are on fourth. We have a game in hand over Liverpool and Everton, and we have two games in hand over Leicester City. But the main point is that if we win our game against Wolves, we basically go second with 30 points, which is of course an absolutely fantastic place to be as well. And if we defeat Aston Villa, who are currently just fifth after Manchester United, then we would have taken an advantage. We would basically be, making a gap with Aston Villa as well. Chelsea, Spurs, and Manchester City are really at sixth, seventh, and eighth position. And then if we come to the bottom half of the table, Arsenal, even after their victory against Chelsea, they are still currently at 15 points, but they are trying to climb up the table, which is good for them. And you look at the bottom three: Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield United, who are basically occupying the relegation zone as well. So, Ankit, brother, I think a lot of things to basically watch in this particular season as well, and this is much more emphasizing the point as to how crucial these December fixtures are as well. So, coming back to the Wolves game, Ankit, what are the key battles that you're hoping to witness? Where do you think that what are the key battles that we need to win in order to gain advantage and get the 3 points at Old Trafford?
I just said that Wolves will basically park the bus and then try to hit us on the counter. But that also is negated because Raul Jimenez, the key player, is not playing. And Neto, I think he has this attributes, similar attributes like Raul Jimenez, but that quality or the final decision making or the final quality is missing in him. So I think that is one of the battles that I will look out. But again, in the midfield, if they have Ruben Neves, Joao Moutinho, I think they played really well against Spurs. They were dominating the midfield. I think they were dominating the entire game. after Spurs went 1-0 ahead and they tried to defend for the entire 90 minutes. So that is also a key battle to see, and that is the reason I want to see Fred play today, because I think he has the tenacity and he can intercept and link that midfield to attack. One counter-attacking pass from Fred or Bruno, I think that will really set up us in winning this game. And on the point that we just discussed, that the Premier League table, I think this season is everyone, including Liverpool, everyone is inconsistent, and that is the reason I think United have a serious opportunity in so many years to at least challenge for the Premier League title. And as you saw that West Brom against Liverpool versus West Brom, they drew, and then Spurs against Wolves, again it was a draw. Yesterday Chelsea against Aston Villa, it was a draw. Leicester against us and Crystal Palace. So lot of draws. None of the teams are getting a foothold in this uh, Premier League battle for the title. So I think United winning games will put additional pressure on the rest of the teams. And Chelsea, if you see on the table, are 1 point behind us with two more games played. So things are not looking good for Chelsea as well as for Lampard. And then Arsenal, as this week, Arsenal are getting mid-table. They were fighting relegation battle a couple of games back, but their win against Chelsea has just put them ahead in the 10th position, I guess. They're in 10th. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, so I think against Spurs, Jose Mourinho. I think people are now getting irritated and seeing the real Jose Mourinho after the honeymoon period is over. So I think I saw a lot of Spurs fans go on against Jose Mourinho on Twitter. So I think that is also going to be interesting to see how Jose Mourinho and Spurs fans accept the situation that they are in. They've also had a good start to the season. They were basically the title contenders, and just after 5 games where they have just won one single Premier League game, I think they have come back to reality. Reality has hit them very hard, and now they are sitting in the fifth or the sixth position with 1 point behind Manchester United and one game extra played. So
So
Spurs also are not looking good. Man City are coming into the strides, but they are not the same Man City that we have seen for the last couple of seasons. Leicester are quite inconsistent, and then Everton also are on the same wavelength. So United have a very, very good chance this season to do something great, not win the Premier League title, but at least contest in it. And then we'll see, we can, if we get the right January signings or summer signings, then we can certainly push ahead from there. And also the EFL Cup against Man City will be a crucial game for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he has to win at least one trophy this season. If he doesn't win, I think the faith that most of the fans have in him will be little bit demonized. But over and all, he has to win one trophy this season.
yes, Ankit, yeah, absolutely. I feel the same as well. That it's about time that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer also starts winning trophies. And as far as the Wolves game is concerned, of course, Wolves are not going to be as open as Leeds were. You know, their defense was also pretty good. So I feel that we need to be much more clinical. We need to take our chances that come by, and also we need to shore up our defense as well. Because at the end of the day, as far as the number of missed chances that we had against Leicester City, we did score 2 goals, but it is our defense who have basically time and time have basically let us down this whole season as well. Even in the Champions League, the way we got knocked out. So we need to be much more clinical going forward, and we need to shore up our defense. And I feel that we have a very good opportunity to get the 3 points at Old Trafford against Wolves as well. So that being said, brother, what are your predicted scoreline?
I'll not prefer a 1-0 win to United, because I know Wolves will pressurize United when the score is 1-0. They have done it against Chelsea, where they were 1-1, and they dictated at the end with Neto's winner 2-1. They won against Chelsea, and then against Spurs also they were dominant for the entire longevity of the game. And when Spurs went 1-0 ahead in the first minute, they basically parked the bus for the entire 90 minutes, and which played into Wolves' hand. And then they got the equalizer late on in the 86th minute. So United should not fall into the similar trap. They should go ahead for the win, and I think 2-0 I think will be a fair scoreline, or a 2-1, because our defense is so atrocious this season that we cannot keep a clean sheet. So I'll go with a 2-1 victory to United.
Yes, Ankit. I think I also kind of feel the same. This does not feel like a very closely patched encounter. United have to score more goals and, of course, shore up the defense. So I would basically say about 3-1. That's what I feel. But that is if
And
in case.
United will have, yeah, United will have a lot of ball in this game. We will dominate the possession considering we have the home team, and Wolves are not a possession-based team. They like to hit on the counter. So I think 2-1 or 3-0 will be a fair enough result if we get the right starting 11 in for today's game. But we never know. I think a draw is all on the cards that I see for this game because Wolves, we haven't won against Wolves in this Premier League era in this 2 years that they are in the Premier League. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be tough.
Yes, Ankit, absolutely. So to all the viewers
Hello,
watching,
Gamer Bow.
hello
I think
gamers.
Gamer Bow has joined the chat. Hello, Gamer Bow. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Yeah. So to all the viewers watching, of course, this is a very crucial encounter at Old Trafford and a much needed 3 points. If we win this game, we will basically go automatically to second position, just 2 points behind Liverpool. And,
Mhm.
yeah, so which will basically put us in good contention against the game against the Liverpool at Anfield basically. So this is much more crucial, and a win against Wolves will also take us back to winning ways after a draw at Leicester City. So definitely this is a big match to come, and 3 points basically to be taken as well. So more of the reaction and all the other content coming on our channel at A to Z United, and we'll basically be discussing on other topics as well, major topics regarding the Premier League and all the other competitions as well. So until then, thank you so much for joining. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye bye.